This is so good. Why did God make peanut butter so good? So opening stuff is really hard, and I didn't know my hands are, so my hands are like this, and this one, so this is what my hands look like this. And so like this hand right here has had a little bit of surgery on it. So they took 2 of the 3 tendons in the back of the wrist, wound them up to the front of the wrist, and so every time I tip my wrist back like this, my hand closes and my thumb pinches. So they did like that tendon transfer on my left hand, but my right hand never had it. Little floppy, little wiggly, just little fish handy, right, Whit? So he calls this one my fish hand and this one my fist hand. That's just how we roll.
She punches me with the fist hand. Slaps me with the fish hand.
Yes.
It's like a wet fish.
Yes, very violent. But I didn't have this surgery on this hand for a few years after I was paralyzed. So I had 2 fish hands, if you can imagine. If you can imagine, double up the fish hand, double. 1 fish, 2 fish, because in shock trauma, they tied my arms to the bed, so I just was there. I was intubated, ventilated, just laying there with my arms tied to the bed. And that's how I was in the respiratory ICU for a little bit also. And then I was there for like a few months, and then the last little bit of my hospital stay, I went to rehab. And in rehab, I was like, what is going on? I couldn't use my hands, and it was devastating. Because I'd had all that time to process not being able to walk. But now I couldn't use my hands, and it was just so awful. And then in the lowest of the low moment, I realized I could do this with my pinky, and my pinky could move. And I was like, I'm gonna walk! I was sure that this was the start of my healing, and that was what I could do on that day, and that is what I can do on this day. So I have it, everyone's like, oh wow, you've learned to do so much more, you've gotten so much more function back, and that is false. I have not gotten any more function back than the day that I was paralyzed. This is what I had then and what I have now. I just use it better, and I had the surgery. Anyway, this is how I am today with the surgery on this hand, and it's cool. I can probably open up this candy bar, with one hand, probably like this. Actually, I know that I can because I've done it before. So I was paralyzed in March, came home in late June, and then I had all that time to kind of figure out my hands, but without, just 2 fish hands. Remember, 1 fish, 2 fish. And then in October, I have a little brother, and even though he's an adult, he still goes trick-or-treating for pounds. Even today with his kids, he goes for poundage. He's you can't even go with him. He won't let his kids go with him unless they can keep up, run. He does let his kids go with him now. So this was when he was a little bit younger, and he was really into it. And he came home with tons of candy that he doesn't even eat because he's really healthy. And so I had all of his candy. He didn't give it to me, I just found it. And there was all there, and I picked up my favorite, which is not actually an Almond Joy. My favorite is Snickers, which we try not to have because then I eat them. But I do like Almond Joys because they're delicious. And so, but I picked up a Snickers on that day, and I was trying so hard to open it. I had it in my mouth like this, 2 hands like this, because I can grab with this hand, but I can't grab with this hand very well. And so just imagine 2 hands like this that can't grab very well. So I was holding it with 2 hands, and I was biting at it, trying to tear this wrap. I wanted that Snickers so bad. And I opened it, and oh my gosh, how sweet was that reward, legit. It was amazing. And so anyway, I can open candy just fine now with my 1 hand and my 1 fist hand that can grab, just like this, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of this, ta-da! And it's delicious. I know you want it. Ooh, I want it, but I'm gonna put it over here. We won't be eating that today. I'm going to be showing you 3 of the things that I open up in my kitchen that are hard. They're harder items, like the bag, the zipper bag like this, because when you open this bag, you have to take the zipper and take the zipper from this side to this side. So I can do it if I hold on to the bag like this, and I hold it with my fingers like this, like that. And so now it's open, like so. But then sometimes if I can't, because I have to rely on it being a little bit light and being able to hold it with my 1 hand. If there's stuff in it that makes that heavy, and I have to hold it with 2 hands, maybe supported at the bottom, then I use my teeth, like my canine tooth right there. I think they call it the eye tooth, do they? I don't know. Like this. There you go. I would say don't try this at home, but if you have to try this, you're definitely gonna be at home, so
Just don't show your dentist.
I know. Oh my gosh. So, there we go. That bag is ready to go. So now I will be opening this can of soda. Just so you know, like the name implies, I will crush it. I will crush this experience. I'll open this can of soda and grab me. I use a spoon. I dropped the can of soda right before we turned on the camera, so I better like tap it a little bit. So tap the can of soda, then get the spoon in stabbing style, put it under the little thing like this. Ta-da! You can do it! The spoon can, I have to like cover it, so I'm gonna grab it like under it with this finger right here. Ta-da! And then you can drink it up, buttercup. Delicious, delicious orange soda, which contains no juice, but it's caffeine free. Now it leads us to the third thing. I saved this for last because I know that you guys might not be very impressed, but this is the hardest. Peanut butter and me, oh, I love it so much. I love peanut butter, it's delicious. It's so hard to open, it's so hard to open. Peanut butter is so hard to open because the lid does not fit on tightly. The lid fits on like barely on. It's like barely on this plastic can thing. And so I actually have to pull up with my hand and twist it with the other one. Okay, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna open this for you. You're gonna love it. I have to lift up on it a little bit. So I'm going to put my hand on it like this, and then I have to like barely touch it. That's the tricky part, because with other lids, I bear down on them and like open them like that. Like I can open jam jars, you know, things like that by pushing down and just opening them. It's not a big deal. But peanut butter, you have to barely touch it and lift up. It's crazy. It's crazy hard. I want you to be so impressed. I want my comments for you to be like, oh my gosh, you were so amazing opening that peanut butter. That was so awesome. That must have taken you a really long time to learn. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And I'm gonna love reading all of your positive comments about how wonderful I am for opening the peanut butter. Because seriously, this is not a little thing, this is a big thing. So okay, ready to be impressed? I will now open the peanut butter. Okay, and then the very end gets tricky because the plastic part that you take off the top like gets in the way a little bit. I'm going to impress you. You're going to be like, oh Meg, can't believe you opened the peanut butter, because I can't bear down on it. I have to like lift up. You got this. Ha! Oh wait, this isn't even opened.
Double trick. How do you open that part?
Well, it wasn't even, this part's easy, but it wasn't like different than regular peanut butter. I didn't even notice that there was like something else on it, because that's exactly how peanut butter is. And this plastic part that I was talking about before, it makes it tricky, like that's if it stays on there, which I just opened the peanut butter before we filmed this. I like served some for lunch. Our daughter had peanut butter and Nutella and lettuce sandwich today for lunch. That's what she wanted. Peanut butter, Nutella, and lettuce. And I was like, yes, of course you can. So I already opened the peanut butter. I didn't know this was a brand new one. So yeah, this part's like a no-brainer. Like so. And it's this little section right here it was on our other peanut butter jar, and it just sort of makes it harder to open. So anyway, I'm not gonna worry about those dregs. I mean, it's just part of life. So anyway, that is how I open peanut butter. This is the second time I've opened peanut butter today. What? You are impressed. And peanut butter is so good. It is worth learning to open peanut butter. It is worth the challenge. Some things are. Some things are worth the challenge. Some things we don't want to attempt because it just looks so hard. I can't open that bag. I can't open that peanut butter. I can't open that soda. It's just gonna be so hard. But it's worth it. And especially when it's like food items, you know, the reward is like right away because you get to eat it. So that's awesome. So I know that maybe in your life, at your house, right now watching this YouTube video, you don't struggle opening peanut butter. That's never been an issue for you. You don't struggle opening little gallon-sized plastic bags or crush cans of soda. Like you don't struggle with that, but you struggle with other things. And I know that your life is hard too, just like mine, and you don't have to be in a wheelchair for life to be too hard to stand or to feel like you can't take one more step. And I want you to know that I'm glad that you came to my video and watched this video and watched me open peanut butter and other things and were impressed with this, because I know that you can be impressive also in your life when you are trying to keep on rolling. So remember, when life gets too hard to stand, just keep on rolling. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.